signal there. It's when you start turning down the volume.
The man who tracks wolves for a living
Good one, so see, it's like 4.5 inches long.
is hot on the trail of a radio signal from a collared wolf
Laid down there.
near Wickiup Reservoir in Central Oregon. As a wolf coordinator for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, John Stevenson's job is a balancing act.
We want to see wolf recovery occur in these states, but we also want to minimize the impact that they have on people trying to make a living out on the landscape.
That impact hits hardest on the ranches of eastern Oregon, where cattle owners like Todd Nash say they are in a constant state of alert.
You know, there's an unsettledness and an unrest that comes with knowing that there's wolves in your livestock. And until you experience it for yourself, it's hard for people to understand. From our perspective, we didn't want wolves here to begin with. I guess I want to make that very clear, so anything that comes after that is a compromise, and a major compromise.
Part of that compromise can be found in Oregon's Wolf Conservation and Management Plan. The stated goal of the plan is to ensure the conservation of gray wolves as required by Oregon law, while protecting the social and economic interests of all Oregonians.
But we've had sighting reports up in here on the top of this hill right here.
Enforcing the state's plan is part of Russ Morgan's job in ODFW's Eastern Regional Office, where he tracks and collars wolves.
It's a way to give us information on the area that the pack uses and try to curb some of the problems that can come with wolves, namely with livestock.
Morgan says he spends most of his time investigating claims of wolf attacks on livestock. But even if a kill is confirmed to be wolf-related, ranchers are expected to attempt non-lethal measures like guard dogs and range riders before the state will step in.
As part of our plan, non-lethal measures are really a requirement. So in other words, before we can even consider whether lethal control is the appropriate tool to solve a problem in the case of a depredation situation.
ODFW, or its authorized agents, have killed 8 wolves since 2005, including last March, when one of Oregon's most notorious alpha males and his family were shot and killed from a helicopter.
Lethal actions being taken as a result of conflict with cattle when cattlemen have perhaps not really used all the available non-lethal techniques first. I think that killing wolves should be an absolute last resort.
Wally Sykes is a self-described wolf advocate who lives in Joseph, near the epicenter of where the needs of wolves and the commerce of man collide on a daily basis.
The use of non-lethal and also lethal control is bound to increase, and that's going to cause a lot of heartburn to people like me.
Critics of lethal controls also point to the government's program to compensate ranchers for wolf-related losses. More than $174,000 were awarded to ranchers last year alone.
When there is a depredation, the pro-wolf side, their response to a depredation to me has been the state will pay the market value of whatever was slaughtered by the wolf. What's your response to that?
If you have a dog, place a value on it and then say, you can go kill that dog any way you want me to. Is that acceptable? I mean, we've been asked to accept a monetary value for something that we would not allow to happen otherwise.
It's great that we have wolves back on the landscape and up in our forests now, and a lot of places we didn't have them before, but part of the deal is the population expands rapidly, and they are going to cause some problems with livestock, and we're going to have to remove a few of them when we have these kind of problem situations.
Wolves are always going to probably function in Oregon right on this interface between humans and wild areas, and I think we're always going to be dealing with these situations.